I'm searching the web for the latest gaming news. Searching GameZillaMedia.com. Downloading headline.
Alexander, what about this monster story of yours?
Download complete.
Topic number one, coming hot off the press here at the GameZilla Media News Show. Epic Games. We know them. Fortnite, Epic Games Store. They've been making some noise. And they made a purchase. They went out and bought Psyonix, the creators of Rocket League. Yeah, this was out of nowhere. There was no conversation about Psyonix thinking about selling or anything. It just kind of happened, and so here we are. This is interesting for us because we are big Rocket League players. So we discussed kind of the health of the game and even the esports league and everything. And so this happening brought a lot of questions up for ourselves in discussion. I want to go over a couple bullet points that came from Psyonix first, and then we can get into just our thoughts on this. So first up, Rocket League has always been and always will be a community-driven game. And now that we have joined forces with Epic, we will be able to serve our community in bigger and better ways. That was a quote. As for these changes, in the short term, Psyonix claims nothing will change at all. In the future, it plans to bring Rocket League to the Epic Games Store and will grow the game in ways it couldn't do before. The announcement also goes on to detail as to how this will be great for Rocket League esports ecosystem as it significantly increases its potential reach and resources, and that the team at Psyonix will stay the same, but will have the power and experience of Epic Games to help support it. Those were the big kind of takeaways from their post on their Psyonix forums. So, first off, there's a lot of hate because The Verge came out and said, without any confirmation from Psyonix yet, that this will mean that Rocket League will leave Steam. So Psyonix has come out and said, right now it's on Steam for the foreseeable future. It will be supported through Steam, and we cannot speak to speculation. So let's just kind of slide that out of the way. We don't need to hate all over this because our PC Master Race fanboys and fangirls can't download an extra client. We've already had this discussion.
So at least from a Rocket League standpoint, I can understand why people would be upset or have concerns about it leaving Steam. It's because there is actually a really rich modding community for Rocket League players on Steam, where there are add-ins that you can download for the game that have special trainings, or there's like fan-created volleyball mode and obstacle courses. There's all this modding stuff that people are doing with Rocket League, and if it moves to the Epic Games Store, Rocket League fans don't know if that's going to be restricted or taken away.
Boo-hoo.
Yeah, I mean, we play it on consoles, so we don't care that much. But yeah. I can understand why some of the nerdier members of the Rocket League community would be a little riled up.
I will simply say this once again, in this world that is starting to shape up as a giant battle of two groups right now trying to solidify a digital online store, is do better, Steam. You should have made this purchase then. Like, I just don't have... I look at it from such a business standpoint that I do not have pity. I do not feel sad. Like, this is what happens when one side sleeps, called Blockbuster, and the other side, called Netflix, just blows up and knocks them out of the water. Like, this is what happens. Okay, you've been shot. You've shot yourself in the foot. You've been punched in the face multiple times. We've had this discussion, I don't even know how many times in recent months, that Epic Games just keeps beating you at making the deal. Go out and make a deal. Go out and do something and show me that you're actually trying, because right now, I don't think you're even trying. So don't get upset if they leave Steam because Valve isn't doing anything to even try to keep them there. I'm sorry. Like, that's it.
Right. I also really don't think it's going to be removed from Steam. I think it's going to live in both ecosystems because they're trying to cultivate a growing player base.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're just going to pull the plug on people. I think they're going to maybe incentivize or encourage people to switch to playing it through the Epic Game Store. But I think everyone's all doom and gloom that plays this on the PC for no reason. There's no reason to be concerned about it yet.
If Epic was smart and Psyonix was smart, they would just kind of take a page out of Microsoft's book. Microsoft's made some big purchases, and then they still sit there and share Minecraft with everybody.
Yeah.
They still sit there and share these games out, and guess what they're doing by doing that? They're making money. So, even if it sits on Steam, Epic's making money off of Steam. It still works. But you're right. They definitely are going to put incentives as to why you want to come play it on their platform.
I think it's something we'll talk about later. I think you may be able to get different versions of Rocket League. I think there'll be a different version of it on the Epic Game Store.
Okay, so let's just get into this first question then. What does this mean for Rocket League? So maybe that can lead you into this question. What does this mean for a game that is... God, how old is Rocket League?
Is it 5 years old now?
Is it that old? Even even before it was called Rocket League.
Well, it's super automatic, turbo, awesome battle cars or whatever.
Yeah. It's an aging game that has seen a drop off in its player base.
Yep.
Its esports is what, in its 8th season?
I think they're currently in either season, competitive season 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I think it's like 2 seasons a year. So it's not an annual. Because to me it was like, man, wait, we're already in another season. I thought that last one just ended. It seems like they do a lot of championship seasons.
All right, so give me your thoughts on what this means for Rocket League.
Well, what I was getting at is I think we could see a free-to-play version of Rocket League on the Epic Game Store. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's the only place you can get the free-to-play version at first. It's just that Epic has experience with monetizing a game that is universally popular to a lot of people. Rocket League is a game that can appeal to so many people because it is a unique game. It is a fun game, and it's an easy to pick up and play and learn. You can play Rocket League for a couple hours, and you have the basics down to understand the game. You can just hand people controllers, and they can play and have fun with it. And I think that, there was an aspect of Fortnite because it was accessible. It was sort of a cartoony shooter. It didn't, off-put a lot of parents because of the violence. It was something that children and adults could play. I think Rocket League falls into that category. So I could, and after the player base sort of plateaued in Rocket League, people were calling for it to go free-to-play. I think Rocket League's free-to-play in China. So there is already a precedent for how they could monetize it. And I think you could see some changes where you might actually have individual items for sale. Because right now, if you play Rocket League, there's esports items you can individually buy, which is the first.
Oh, I know.
Grim has his cars.
I've dropped like $20 on it already because I've Cloud9'd my Octane out.
Yeah.
Wheels, decals, banners. Give it to me.
Now, how cool would it be if when everything's all set up and Epic is controlling Rocket League a bit, how cool would it be if there is a premium shop where you could go and buy that goal celebration that you wanted that was discontinued 2 years ago? Like, I want the Dabbing Reaper. Yeah. I might throw $10 to get the Dabbing Reaper. Yeah. Like, that's a really cool goal celebration to me, but you can't get it anymore because the crates aren't available. If you weren't an OG player, you're not getting the Dabbing Reaper.
That was my first thought about this, is that the crates, like, I complain about the crate system every day. I think literally every day that we play, you hear me complain about it. I'm like, oh, great, another crate. That's great. Just going to sit there and collect dust. If you took all of this material, like, they have so many items. That's the advantage, right? Rocket League has released so many accessories that, you could have an amazing eShop, virtual, store that could rotate, however you want to do it. But man, would I like, when I think of where I spend a ton of money, it was League of Legends and its skins and all sorts of like esports logos that I could pop up above my head in the match just to rep my team. Like, I do it all. So yeah, that would be a huge move. And again, Epic has that experience with doing this in a very, very successful way.
Another thing that's important to know about the history of Rocket League Rocket League reached the level of success on the foundation of it was free to play at release on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
When the game came out, it was free to everyone that had PlayStation Plus at that time, and that set up a big player base, and it instantly created some interest in the game by getting so many people to just try it. Because you just try Rocket League and then you get hooked on it.
Yeah, So just to give you these dates, because we brought this up and never answered it. Rocket League in its current form came out on the PlayStation 4 and Windows July 7th of 2015, so it's just shy of 4 years. Okay. Its original concept was 2008, and it was called Supersonic Aerobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars. That was the name of it. And that was on the PS3. It mixed reviews, but it built like a loyal fan base, which led to Psyonix to continue building through it and coming out with what was Rocket League in a beta form in 2013, and then the official Rocket League finally launched in 2015. So, I mean, it's a long time coming of what this concept is, and I think this is a great move by Psyonix, a great move for Epic, just for them securing another IP that's important and relevant currently. But how they can refresh this game in so many ways, and like you said, the eShop is a very good idea. The free-to-play platform would be genius because it already has a battle pass that you can buy into. You could build instead of the crate system, you could shift it into like you said, an eShop where these items are $1 here, $1 there type deal, and some of the rarer stuff is a little bit more expensive. I would spend so much money on those where I hate the thought right now of buying a key.
Yeah.
The only keys I buy are for my battle pass if I need them.
Yep.
That's the only time I buy a key. It's just not worth it to me. Like this random roll that usually lands on something for a vehicle that I don't even use or hell don't even own, and I don't even like the gamble of this loot system where other games I've bought loot boxes in Overwatch before, but even that's a hard sell for me, but I've done it. Here there's no way. I'm just not interested. You turn that into an eShop, I'm going to spend money.
I'm more likely to spend $5 on a really cool skin or a paint job for the car than I am to buy 5 keys in a hope of getting a paint job for a car.
Next up, here's my next piece for this.
Yeah.
What does this mean for Rocket League? I was super happy that they brought crossplay in, but it is archaic and real janky.
Yeah.
Epic has already offered their crossplay system free to anyone that wants to use it. Now these two are together. What can Epic do to help Psyonix make it where my Battle Pass is cross progression? I play on the Switch. I switch over to my PS4. I hop over to my PC. It doesn't matter if I'm a level 25 here. I'm a level 25 there. And my purchases, when I buy the DeLorean, when I get the Jurassic Park vehicle, when I'm doing the Batmobile, it doesn't matter if I buy them on the Switch. I can use them somewhere else. That is what Fortnite is. Like, if you give me that, that's great. And then the final thought of it is, Epic managed to get Fortnite to play on a mobile phone.
Yeah.
What can you do with Rocket League?
It seems doable.
It does seem doable.
Especially with the way phones are advancing. I mean, it's playable on the Switch. And remember how ugly Rocket League was when it first dropped on the Switch? Like, it was an ugly game. So even if it drops on a phone and it looks kind of ugly, they'll patch it. They'll clean it up over time. Like, it's super doable for them to do. Grim, do you think that Rocket League teaming with Epic is going to be Epic's key to success in esports? Because we know that Fortnite has had trouble gaining ground in the esports world.
Not that Rocket League has been the biggest esports scene, but it has a esports scene, right?
Yeah.
And so I think the two coming together can learn from each other for sure. I think they're both going to be able to pull something away from this relationship. But I think Rocket League having the money and the power that Epic has can put it on a bigger platform, bigger venues, better reach. But at the same time, the experience that Rocket League has with the leagues and forming organizations and trying these things could help Epic in a way as well. There is an interesting comment that I am going to pull from the Twitch chat. So I want to give a shout out to Player One Miggy. He did say, guys, you're missing the big picture. And this makes a lot of sense. A Fortnite Rocket League crossover event. Fortnite has vehicles. They're goofy, but they have vehicles.
Oh.
Could you imagine a Fortnite game 50v50, everybody in a Rocket League car, and the goal is to get the soccer ball in the other person's zone or something like that? I mean, like, you could have some crazy event like that. That would be really cool.
True.
And then what could Fortnite bring over to Rocket League? Obviously, skins and things like that would be cool. People are already saying, I want a pinata, on top of my car, stuff like that. That's day one. Like, that's stuff that you could see happen probably really quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Is that Fortnite really enjoys the crossover events with big franchises. Now they have another franchise under their belt that they can do some fun stuff with.
Very true. And I think we've seen Epic do a great job with continuous updates of Fortnite. Fortnite is always evolving, always growing, and always being updated. This might mean more frequent updates. That might mean a little more cash flow going into Rocket League to continue to help it grow, more frequent patching, and more content. They've done great over the last year with giving us the Rocket Pass. I think all Rocket League fans have really been enjoying the ability to get loot and know what you're going to get. It's works the same way as the passes do in every other game. And I think we're going to see maybe more game modes added and things like that. I think it's going to maybe more in-game events.
Yeah, more in-game events is definitely something I could see. The thing about Rocket League is they already do a really, really good job with their battle pass. Mm-hmm. It's one of the most addicting battle passes for me, where I feel like every level I'm kind of excited on what I might get. Where I've played other games, unfortunately, like Apex Legends, where the battle pass has been very lackluster, Fortnite has been great when it comes to their battle pass. So, this collaboration, they're pretty even to me. I don't know how one could really help the other in that, but we'll see what comes up. The only thing I can imagine is now your battle pass in Rocket League might have some Fortnite things in it, and maybe vice versa. So, when's the first time you're going to be able to fly in Fortnite with your glider that is some sort of Rocket League vehicle?
Yeah.
I don't know. My next question, and we can kind of wrap this up, is what do you want to see happen the most? Like, what's the one thing out of this deal that's being made that you think could, and it doesn't have to be necessarily Psyonix advantage. You could pick Epic side, whatever it is. What's the one thing you want to see happen the most out of this transaction?
I want to see Rocket League grow as a game and as an esport. If it goes free to play, all those kids that are obsessed with Fortnite, if you give them the chance to play Rocket League, it's going to help a new generation of Rocket League players adapt to the game. It's going to give kids an option that's not Fortnite, that still doesn't really cost them anything to get in and play. And I think it could flourish, and I would be really excited to see it grow as an esport, because I think Rocket League is very fun to watch. And that's someone who likes playing the game a lot, but the action is high-paced, the goals are exciting and fun to watch. Professional Rocket League makes your brain hurt because you're seeing such cool things. You can't even figure out how they're doing it, but it is so fun and exhilarating. And I think if that presentation is given to more people who are interested in the game, it's going to flourish, and it's going to become one of the biggest esports.
Yeah, you literally stole it from me. I think this is huge for both groups in the sense of making sure Rocket League kind of re-establish itself, where it kind of regrows that amazing fan base that it had. Not saying it doesn't have a good fan base right now, but it has shrunk. So the big thing here is that if you make it free to play, which is something that I very well could see happening, and you start to integrate the events like Player One Miggy was saying, or even just sharing the assets across the games, that right there is enough for someone playing Fortnite that ends up unlocking the glider that is the Rocket League car. Does it send that kid over to be like, I'm going to try Rocket League out now. Because I play Fortnite on the PC and I already have the client, all I have to do is click this button that says install on Rocket League right there, and I can switch over and play it. So what's the percentage of Fortnite players that end up giving Rocket League a try. And that's the key there, is that you could see Rocket League set all-time personal best numbers just simply because they're connected now.
Yeah.
And that would be, I would love it. The competition would be even crazier in this game. You nailed it with the esports. You know, I love watching League of Legends, and I think it's one of the best esports, but the times that I have watched competitive Rocket League at championship level has been just nuts. And I just don't think it has the attention it deserves. And I think it definitely has room to grow and could catch fire and really become something special, because the game is simplistic, yet there are tons of strategies and different metas and everything. So it is crazy to watch this game that is really just soccer with RC cars inside of a bubble, you know, and still, it's super entertaining. I'm a soccer fan, and I like watching Rocket League Championship probably more than any actual soccer game short of maybe World Cup.
Yeah.
I like World Cup. Outside of that, give me Rocket League competitive play. I'll get my soccer fix that way. All right. Let us know what you think about Rocket League, about this acquisition here by Epic Games. You can join the Discord, GameZillaMedia.com, right at the bottom of the screen on the homepage. You click that Discord button. Talk with gamers from around the world every day for free. And, hop in that PlayStation chat or the gaming general chat, and let's talk about this topic.